Welcome to the May 19th meeting of the Fitchburg School Committee. I now call this meeting to order. Please be advised that the FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating your name and city of residence. At this time, I ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. I invite anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to please approach the podium and identify themselves by name and address and agenda for any item on the agenda, which would be like to, if they would like to speak, and then they may be given no more than 2 minutes. Okay. We will now have a Pledge of Allegiance. The mayor was busy tonight, was not able to be here, and I guess it's my turn. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will not have an executive session tonight. School committee members and student reports. School committee chair report. The chair is busy tonight, will not be here. Resource committee, we met on the 5th, and we approved our minutes from the previous meeting. It was a very short meeting for resource committee. We had an update on enrollment from Nick Packard. We're roughly 100 students more this year than we were last year. We did not have any grants to accept or donations, but we now have one on for tonight,
yes,
I believe. Yep. We went, basically what we did was went over the budget, which will be presented tonight. Any questions on? Seeing none. Jim, all set?
Upset.
The school building needs, we met again. We went over an update on our capital plan, and basically most projects are either well underway or finished. We reviewed the architectural for the HVAC and security projects that we have going. Those were the main things that were taking place. And oh, I almost forgot, we did have our usual update from our Director of Building Needs, and I almost forgot because he only had 3 pages this time. He's going to have to work a little harder, I don't know. They've done such a good job all year. It was very light on building repairs. Any questions on?
I would just like to comment that I enjoyed the reading.
I know that
Door number such and such.
Yeah.
Closed properly.
I thought early on as we did that, and Dan does such a great job of preparing that and all the work that's been done.
Yeah.
I said, make sure that the committee gets a copy of this every month so that
Yes,
you'll see all the good work that
I appreciate
they do.
you more and more for all that you do.
Thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate it. Policy committee, Debbie is not here tonight. Student support?
Nothing to report, sir.
Thank you. School personnel, nothing to report tonight. Student representative, James.
Good evening. The FHS Athletic Awards are tomorrow, May 20th at 6:30 at FHS. And speaking of athletics, a new school athletics record has just been set. For girls outdoor 100-meter 4-person relay, Leanna Draper, Fiona Palmer, Giselle Florival, and Ali Diaz set a new school record of 51.42 seconds, beating the previous record of 51.53 set in 2019. The FHS Alumni Awards Night is on May 21st at 6 at FHS. To raise money for the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip, there will be a semi-formal at Memorial Middle School from 5 to 7 on May 22nd. 8th graders from Longshore and Memorial Middle School are invited to attend. Tickets are $5. Fitchburg Public Schools is holding the annual Heart of the Burg Art Show at the Fitchburg Senior Center, 14 Wallace Ave, on May 22nd from 5 to 7 p.m. FHS Senior Awards Night is on the 28th at 6 at FHS. The Fitchburg Public Schools elementary and middle school relays are on May 29th at 6 at Crocker Field. And South Street Early Learning Center is holding a Farmily Fun Day breakfast for Fitchburg families on May 31st from 9 to 11 a.m. This event is a celebration of spring and will include a petting zoo, free books, music, and raffles. Guests are encouraged to dress up as farmers.
Break out those overalls.
Any questions for James? Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you Wednesday night. That's the annual Alumni Association night where we give away awards to, we're going to be 100 students this year, and looking forward to it. I think I have more fun than the kids. I've been doing it for so many years. At this time, we have approval of the minutes of the previous school committee meeting of May 5th.
I move to
So moved.
approve the minutes for the May 5th meeting.
Thank you. Mrs. Alexander, roll call vote?
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh? Sorry.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Knight?
Yes.
Mrs. England?
Yes.
Okay. Next, we will have communications. Mr. Thompson, we just one.
Yes, we have one communication this evening. This evening we have Samantha Boyd, who is an ELA teacher at Fitchburg High School. She's here this evening, and she would like to share communication around our MVP students traveling to Newport, Rhode Island to the Breakers Mansion.
Hello, I am Sam, and I am the MVP English teacher, as he just said. I had sent an email to everybody, but I really wanted to thank the school committee because I know you guys were all responsible for approving that trip. So I'm basically here to read that email to you guys. All right. So I just wanted to take a minute to express my deepest thanks for your support in making the MVP field trip to the Breakers Mansion in Newport, Rhode Island a reality. I know it took a great deal of planning, approvals, and coordination, and I'm so sincerely grateful for the trust and backing that you provided to help me provide this opportunity to the kids because they were so excited to be there. They were actually in awe the entire time. So I planned this trip to bring The Great Gatsby to life. The Breakers Mansion is a symbol of the new money elite that directly parallels with the world that Fitzgerald portrays. And sometimes the kids can get a little bored with the book, so any chance I can get to try to hype it up is perfect. So it was a very immersive experience, but it ended up being a lot more. As we toured the mansion, a woman who worked there approached me and said that she would like to talk about my kids. So I got a little nervous because I was worried that one of them touched something that they weren't supposed to. But after asking where we were from again and hearing that the students were from Fitchburg, she got a little bit emotional. And she shared with me that the mansion regularly hosts hundreds of school groups, mostly from elite private and prep schools across the region. And then she shared something with me that I'll never forget. She said that we have never had such an incredible group of kids come through here as we did today. These are some of the best behaved, most respectful, and engaged students we've ever seen. They represented Fitchburg so well. It was a moment of pride that I wished every single one of you could have witnessed because she was crying, I was getting emotional, the kids were like, what did she say about us? They couldn't believe it because they don't hear good things like that often. But they were not only grateful and excited to be there, but they also left a lasting impression on the people who see school groups every day. And I think that speaks volumes about the MVP kids' character and a lot of the kids in Fitchburg's character. That I feel so lucky to have as my students. For many of them, it was their first time leaving Massachusetts. And although we're technically not inner city, we do share the same economic hardships, limited access to resources, and sometimes a sense of being looked. And that day, our students felt seen. The trip allowed them to experience something beyond their everyday reality, opening their eyes to possibilities that are out there beyond Fitchburg. And it sparked curiosity and reminded them that the world is much wider out there, and it's one that they are more deserving to be a part of. We have like hundreds of photos that I'm sure you guys can all see. Another thing real quick that Miss Gosh, she was one of the chaperones, she shared with me that as soon as we entered the mansion, the guys in her group started talking about the different electrical components and the beams and the joists and the details and all the things. And then one of the gentlemen that worked at the mansion, another one, overheard the kids and looked at her confused, and she explained that they were trade students in the MVP program and explained what the program was. And he got really excited because his son was an electrician, so he was able to walk with the kids and talk about all the different components in the house that we might have missed in the tour if he hadn't known that. So I thought that was really cool. So, yeah. That's it.
Nice, very nice.
So thank you guys.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Walsh?
I just, when you came before us for us to approve the trip, I thought what a great idea to have the students not only read the book but experience the mansion that is in the book. And what you just told us of how our students performed, I'm so impressed. I'm always impressed by what our students do. And I want to thank you for letting the people at the meeting tonight and the people who are watching this live, that they know how good our students are. So thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Oh, they shook everybody's hands. They were so appreciative and thanked everybody. It was like, it's really the cutest thing ever. And even like, aside from that, we all went out to lunch and we went to a restaurant and we took up like the whole pizza place. And then at the end, they asked the workers for cleaning stuff and they cleaned the whole restaurant so that they didn't, like, they're just wicked good kids, and I feel like they don't get enough recognition for how awesome they are. So. That was it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Samantha.
Samantha, this is something I mentioned at our last meeting, talking to people. Our kids, you know me, I've been over with the schools for over 50 years now. I've been saying this about our kids for years. Our kids always acquit themselves very well wherever they go. We're always recognized. Sometimes it's our local people who don't realize what a great school system we have, wonderful teachers and administrators, and our kids are just super. And as Mr. Roach, as principal of the high school, used to say, and you know, what was that you used to say, Mr. Roach?
Best students in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
They are.
Best students in the state.
And they really were like in such awe. There was one, it was raining, and they were just standing outside, leaning on the wall, looking at the yard. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they said, when are we going to see this again? Like, we're soaking it in. Look at the trees.
Yeah,
Look at this
yeah.
grass. It was just really cool. It was
yeah,
so cool.
our kids are just super. They
Yeah.
just do a great job.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. Thank you for
proud.
taking
Samantha,
them.
thank you so much for organizing this opportunity for our students. We appreciate you and everything that you do every day.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But, you know, a system like Fitchburg, we scrap for everything and fight for everything we have to get for our kids. And so many teachers in our system step up to volunteer and do these programs like you've just done, Samantha. And, you know, again, thank you to all those teachers who do that for our students. Thank you.
I feel like we're the lucky ones because we're the ones that get to learn from them. I think I've learned more from them than they could learn from me. So.
Could I add one thing?
Sure.
Mr. Stevens, yeah, I just also want to say thank you to you for stepping up in what is, as I understand it, the only program like it in the state.
Yep.
It's a super creative way for so many kids that are not able to attend a vocational technical school just based on the limited seats and the way the admission practices work. So this new partnership down on Westminster Street allows for our students to have 1 week at Fitchburg High and 1 week in shop, carpentry and electrical right now. And it wouldn't have happened if the staff at Fitchburg High wasn't willing to really get creative about how their jobs were going to look. And I just have to say thank you to you and the team, Emma Brassard, you know, the entire team that really thought, what's best for our kids, what's going to work well for them, and I'm willing to take on this difficult challenge. I know having 2 separate groups of students every other week is not easier. It's more challenging, so really grateful to you and the folks that are doing that. It's making a huge impact on kids. We heard the speech, you know, at the ribbon cutting from Nano. I can't think of his last name, but amazing. I mean, that's what it's about, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roach. Anything more on communications?
No.
No. At this time, we will entertain the superintendent's report.
Public comment first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get these glasses. I can see a half a mile down the road, but I can't see up close. Public comments. Anybody wish to make a public comment tonight? Seeing none? Okay.
All right.
Superintendent's report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stevens. This evening, my first piece of information I would like to share with you is an update from our Unified Arts Department. This evening, we have some of our Unified Art Department leads with us, but before we kick it over to them, I'm going to invite Glenda Colon, our Assistant Superintendent, to begin talking a little bit about our Unified Arts Department. Unified Arts actually falls underneath Glenda, and that's one of her responsibilities as Assistant Superintendent. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Do you mind? Thank you so much. So one of the things that I'd like to share with everyone is that this year in Unified Arts, we shifted a little bit some of the model for professional learning, and I'm excited to share that we have department lead teachers who really get to think about professional learning and think about the experiences very specific and differentiated to the individual department. So in the past, the professional learning may have encompassed everyone in the Unified Arts. This time, their learning is very differentiated to the unique skills and areas in their focus. So I'm excited to share that we have 3 of our members with us today. 2 of them couldn't make it, but I will be speaking on their behalf. They have shared some information and updates. And then I am going to ask us first to have Emily Barrett come up to the front and share a little bit about music and theater this year. So this is exciting, by the way. This is going to be a lot of fun, wonderful pictures and just information about all the amazing things that have been going on. So I'm excited. Emily.
So hi, everybody. My name is Emily Barrett. I am the drama teacher at Memorial and also the lead teacher for the music and theater department. So in my role as lead teacher, like Glenda said, I've designed and delivered the professional development for the music and theater teachers for the year. So some of the things that we have sort of focused on this year is aligning with the district's instructional priorities. So we focused on formative and summative assessments with data-driven instruction. We've done a lot of vertical alignment and cross-school collaboration to make sure that when a student goes from elementary to middle to high school, the curriculum sort of follows in a pattern, and school to school, they have a similar curriculum there. And then also some high-quality instructional materials. We focus a lot with some resources from Carnegie Hall and then the Firebend Music Education. Sorry, looking at my slides. You can go to the next slide. So some of our goals that we talked about this year for students, for our teachers and our families. So goals for student, we want our students to foster engagement and self-expression through performance and creation. We also really want to encourage critical thinking. In our professional development, we talked a lot about music and theater analysis and interpretation to get them critically thinking about music and theater and that. For our teachers, we want us to continue our professional growth through our professional development, and like Glenda said, especially targeted for us, for our department, not necessarily the overarching Unified Arts Department, and also deepen our collaboration to align curriculum and share our best practices across schools and across buildings, because we are our best resource, all of us together, meaning together. And for our families, we want to continue to invite them into the process of learning, especially in music and theater education. education and celebrate our students' success. Our families are so wonderful about coming to performances and seeing our students really shine musically and theatrically, and we want to keep their involvement and continue their involvement to our performances and our events. Some highlights over the years. So one thing that's really incredible about the music department, and especially at Fitchburg High School with Ms. Greenlease, is that when somebody calls, they are there for a performance, for an event. So just a couple things that they've done over the past year. The 26th Annual Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration, Empowerment Through Style fundraiser for North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce. They performed at Memorial's Student First Staff Charity Foundation, charity fundraiser, welcoming Santa to the Whitney Field Mall, and of course, winning gold and silver at the New England Scholastic Band Association Marching Band Competition, and probably one of the most notable, if you go to the next slide, was having students, and James here was one of them, performing with the New England Honors Band at the Rose Bowl Parade this January. Also, next slide, we have some highlights from the drama department at FHS. They just did Young Frankenstein, their musical. The FHS Drama Club also competed at the METG, the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild's competition with drama competition, their play. My own drama club at Memorial, we had about 50 students, many of them performing for the first time in a musical called Imagine a Dragon. And then at our middle school level, we have had students competing in junior district festival auditions. They had a really fabulous winter concert. And then upcoming, if you go to the next slide, this Wednesday at Memorial, there is a middle school spring concert. That's at 6 p.m. And also this Friday, we have students traveling out to Six Flags to compete at the Great East Music Festival. And then next steps for our department, we really want to continue to refine and expand our instructional practices. And then sort of long-term goals is making sure that there's equitable access across the buildings. So possibly at some point, another theater teacher at Longview Middle School, adding band in elementary school to strengthen the pipeline to the middle school and high school programs, and just overall building a strong K through 12 performing arts department. Thank you so much.
Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Barrett?
I do.
Go ahead.
Are you just one person, or are you many people?
So I am one person as a lead teacher, but the entire department for music and theater is 9. That is mostly in music. I'm the only theater, and there is one at the high school that does theater and English.
That is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's exciting.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you. I do also want to share that one other thing that Emily did this year was she expanded her professional learning offering so that anyone in the district can take that. So she is currently wrapping up integrating content with the arts.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we're doing a combined project on some scale model set designs. We also have another teacher here, Chris, who's working with an ELA teacher. So a lot of arts integration and interdisciplinary learning happening.
I do have another question. I'm glad you came back to the mic.
Yeah.
Any news from the Groton School of Music and its relationship with us?
I don't know specifically. I know that we have violin teachers that come to us. We also have had a couple students have performed there before. Yeah, so we do have a pretty good partnership with them.
Well, I know I attended a concert down there where my harp teacher was performing.
Yeah.
And a gentleman from the Groton School came out at the Groton Theater there, came out, and he was so deeply proud of his relationship with Fitchburg was one of the things. So I was wondering how that had developed.
Yeah, so we definitely have a violin teacher that comes to the school, and I believe at least at Memorial we have about 25 kids that play violin, so he instructs them in violin. And then we've had students that have gone there and performed in
25 kids where?
In violin at Memorial. I think it's about 20.
You mean across the city or?
No, just at Memorial. through 6th to 8th
Just
grade.
drop that like that. That's
Sorry.
incredible. Whoa.
This program started several years ago with, go ahead.
Yeah, so this program started several years ago with them actually coming in and servicing students at the middle school level, and they actually provide us a teacher to us. The good thing is, I have good news, is we're trying to expand that program down to the elementary schools. So we've been working with them. They're actually coming to Fitchburg to go to our 3 elementary schools, Rheingold, Crocker, and McKay, to talk to them about instruments and their program. In addition to that, we're also working with them, hopefully, we can add additional teacher to the upper elementary to actually get band started at the elementary schools, hopefully for next year. So we're still working on that with them.
That would be awesome.
That's tremendous. That'd be great.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Yeah, we still have not come back from what we used to have. We used to have a band and music teacher at every school, and we're still working to get back
Yeah.
to that.
We're working on it, but making great strides.
We continue. We're not going to let it go. We're going to.
Yes.
We lost the theater arts years back in a lot of our music program, but Sally Cragen and myself, going back a dozen years or so, we worked very hard to get back a lot what we have now, and we're continuing to support the arts in the Fitchburg Public Schools.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pete.
So I'm going to ask our STEM and technology lead to come up, Chris Landry, and he is going to share some updates from his department.
Hi. So I'm Chris Landry. I'm the STEM teacher at Memorial Middle School, also the tech lead teacher. I'm going to use my phone for notes because I'm a tech teacher, so that's how it goes. Similar to what Emily was saying, our department also is focusing on very similar goals and professional learning styles for this year. Data-driven instruction, trying to do a lot of vertical alignment, trying to make sure all the schools were completely in row with each other so that we're all making sure we have a ladder system working. Also trying to build different partnerships. I'm really big on building partnerships outside of Fitchburg. I have a pretty good one with WPI. I have a really nice one with FATV. The high school has some really amazing partnerships with different manufacturing companies and with Monty Tech now, and we're really trying to see if we can get this built more so that we can get more resources, more people involved, really bring that real world experience to our students who are trying to work. So, moving on to what we've been doing. At the elementary school, they're having a lot of fun down there. All 3 of our elementary schools. First, I got to say, the city does an excellent job at making sure our students have resources that are available to us. We always, seriously, if I say to Eileen or anybody at central office, hey, we need X, Y, and Z, I don't think I've ever had a no. Like, somebody's always there to make sure that we have what we need. So all of our elementary schools are equipped with all kinds of resources, great little robotics tools, great little software pieces, nice little microbits, Spheros, all kinds of great things. And the students are currently learning different aspects of the engineering design process, so how problems are identified, how we design solutions to those, how we test and evaluate them at different levels on an elementary level, and then how can we then communicate that data to the community and each other. And they do that through different kinds of devices, microbits, little Arduinos, cute little robots, Roomba. You all know the Roomba robots? Mm-hmm. They have cute little versions called iRoots, which are like miniature versions of that. So they have different experiences using those. Here they were using ramps to help study forces and how different forces are impacted by different levels of movement and gravitational pull. And they also had an interesting entomology lab where they used some of their little devices to help people create little insects and then be able to do fun things with that. So they were having some fun there. They also use a lot of different software. They use pixel art, and they use different sites that allow them to have creativity involved, because in the elementary school, we call it STEAM. We recognize not a lot of the elementary school students are able to write all of their ideas out well, so we allow art to impact that, so they can draw, they can sketch, they can use their artwork in different ways to help them communicate that matter, and so that is a big resource for them. Moving on to the next one. The middle school level, we only really have 2 programs. At Longjo, there is a woodshop program, and then at Memorial, we have me. And I run 5 different courses at Memorial for the tech program. At Memorial, we are doing, for 6th grade, the little numbers indicate what the grade level is. That was my notes. Drafting, CAD, and manufacturing, that's on a 6th grade level. So the 6th graders are using 3D printers, laser cutters, and they're using vernier calipers and actual engineering tools, not like toys, but I'm actually teaching them engineering. And they're building all kinds of manufacturing things, which will lead, and I'll get to in a little bit, leads up to the high school. Our 7th graders, we are a first Lego certified school. We're the only one that I'm aware of in the region still, which means that the first organization gave us Lego robots that we then use to help teach students robotic design, programming, and problem solving. So you can see on the top 2 pictures there, we have a couple of students who I gave them a challenge. They had to build a robot that was based off bioengineering, turn it into an organism that could walk or run, and then make them race 2 meters. And then they got to race them. Wow. And they actually had a blast with those. We raced them today. They did a great job. They had a blast. And then on the lower portion, you'll see that there's some coding going on there. I use different types of Arduinos, which are circuit boards that have computer chips in them. So think of anything you might have at home that you use for electrical work. Nest that would work for your thermostats, an Alexa, anything like that. That's an Arduino. So I give those to our 8th grade students, and I teach them actual text coding. There is Python and C++. I teach them that, and then they build actual devices. One of the things they're going to have to build is a modified Game Boy. I'm going to teach them how to build a video game, and then they have to program really retro Mario-style video game jumping kind of thing. And then they have to program it, problem solve it, build it. They get to play it. Then they get to write about how they built it. All of this stuff will then lead to the high school, which we can go to the next slide. And the high school, they are working very hard in their manufacturing program to develop some strong problem-solving skills, STEM core ideas, industry connections. As you can see, we have some students there on their CNC machines that are very proud of what they do. They have an excellent program up there. And the high school works very hard with different manufacturing companies to get the kids apprentice certified in different ways so that they can then find job opportunities. Very similar to Monty Tech does.
Are any of these kids now being hired locally by, or in fact?
My conversations with the high school teachers is that there are branches out there where we are getting kids locally into different manufacturing organizations, yes. They have very strong, as a matter of fact, I just talked to John and Marcia. They were saying that they just had a meeting with some of the manufacturing companies to strengthen those ties. So from what I understand, yes, they do.
So we want to retain these kids in Fitchburg.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and I'm always trying to, so in the middle school level, I'm always working with the kids to say that if you are looking for these things, these are the skills that they're looking for, go to the high school. The high school will give you those. You branch off of what I'm teaching you. Like, I'm not just teaching you toy stuff. Like, I'm trying to give you real-world skills. Go to the high school. They will then enhance those skills, and then you can get, because they have an apprentice program where you can get apprenticed in welding, you can do the CNC work. We have a great robotics program up there. We have an amazing carpentry and building program up there, and the kids are like, wait, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, it's not just one direction. You got lots of options here, guys. So as the lead tech, I'm trying to really build those networks and that information out there to let people know that we have more than one option here. We've got a great infrastructure that we can do this with.
Just have a question. Any biomedical?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but I am actually looking into, and I'm going to talk to Glenda more about this, but I have been looking into more STEM workshops, coursework for the kids on biomedical. I was just telling her, I just took a great course with me as I am a science on designing medical coolers that the kids would build alarm systems for.
Oh, wow.
For like EMTs and paramedics on like a middle school level, but like I'm looking into that stuff.
And while I asked you that question, this is jumping back, sorry, but it won't leave my mind. You used the word etymology there. In what context was it?
So the elementary school had a parent night, and
Parent night. Okay.
Yep, and they were using some of their cute little Arduino pieces to let people make little toy bugs that you could then program to make move and stuff like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions for Chris?
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I am going to continue with the next report out. Erin Clem is our library and media lead. She had another event tonight, so she did pass along some updates and information. First of all, one of the things that they have been doing with the library media team is really trying to build a foundational vision for like the purpose of their team, especially since, you know, I think there was a time when there weren't as many library media specialists. They're all coming back. Now we have library media and librarians in our schools. And so really their work has been about visioning and creating and understanding a purpose. What you see up here, I'm not going to read it all for you, but it really is the framework of like, what is their vision? What do they really want? And really creating the vision so that it ties in with supporting the work and foundation that are already happening in classrooms at all content levels and areas. So. The other thing that we did is really focus on, you know, again, expanding on the idea of that mission and really what is the goal for each of our stakeholders. So for our students, really, you know, they really want to be able to see our students choose books that spark an interest for them, right? So obviously that we're going to choose a lot of texts and books for our coursework, but to be able to see students independently choose books because they are appreciating it, loving it, and enjoying it, that was really one of their goals for their students. They also have really been focused on you know, leaning into that interest and spark to support students in developing independent thinking around literacy, right? So asking questions, sharing ideas, explaining the ideas that they're developing as they're reading, and also using library skills as a resource. We have a wonderful library in Fitchburg, and so really thinking about how do we use the libraries in our schools to be able to support the learning that they're doing. For families, really supporting our families with encouraging a love of reading at home, staying informed and sharing information about the updates of what's going on with the monthly themes that they've been developing and sharing out in school-based newsletters and different library events that occur. And then also really supporting their child's curiosity by just talking about the literacy and reading that is happening at home. And then, you know, goals for our teachers are really, the library team has been connecting together and really thinking about what books they want in their libraries, thinking about what resources they can tap into to strengthen the library program, and then also thinking about the library as a learning space. It is an opportunity and a tool for resource, but it's also a wonderful learning space that has opportunity for a variety of different things, including including recommendations. So many of our libraries now, you'll walk into the libraries in the different schools and you will see recommended text along most of the top of the shelves. Those come recommended by either other students or they're recommended by our library staff or teaching staff. So it's a really great way of kids just enjoying and experiencing the space in a different way. These are some really positive highlights that we have here. One of the things I want to share out is that we were able to book an author visit this year in a couple of different schools. So these are pictures from, some of the author visits and then some extension activities after students read a book, right? So that's something that has been really exciting. There is an example of just what I was talking about in the middle there of how bookshelves are now being displayed with some recommendations from either teachers or other students. And then there's also, just a picture at the top with some highlights of books that different students have read throughout the year and an opportunity to showcase that literacy and reading is happening everywhere. So really exciting. A lot of great things have been happening. And for some of our next steps, similar, I think a lot of our departments have really been working on alignment across all the grade levels. So that is also something that our library staff has been doing, is thinking about what does this look like K through 5, what does this look like in middle school all the way to high school. So that's something that they've been doing. They also have been developing their professional development with the Massachusetts School Library Association. They actually have come out multiple times, have led professional learning. Starting last year, I met with members of the Massachusetts School Library Association, and from time to time, they'll do a quick audit of a library, support a librarian if there is an opportunity of recycling and exiting books, that is part of the process. And so they really support with what are the best ways of setting up a library. And that's also a positive highlight to share, that Erin is currently leading a book talk. And she also opened that up to all educators so that if anyone wants to gather some more information about what is the best way of utilizing libraries, she's leading that right now through a text that she learned about from the Mass School Library Association. And they're helping to support how to create a library space that encourages some of those student goals. I think their next steps are continued just targeted professional development for their team to continue to partner with the Mass Library Association and to continue to share student successes on the great things that are happening in the libraries in our schools.
Thank you, Glenda. Questions for Glenda regarding the library, media centers?
Just to comment again,
Yes, go ahead.
I'm very impressed, and it's really exciting and
It
alive.
is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adult and interactive. It's wonderful.
Yeah, what's going on?
And as I've said before, one of the things, again, we used to do, all fourth graders used to go to the library. Every fourth grader got a library card. Again, when the new library opens, I would like to see us do that again. One bus, all the fourth graders would get to the Fitchburg Public Library, know where it is, see what it is, and have that tour, get a library card, and can be helped through the schools.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know our Director of Literacy actually does also have a strong partnership with our local library. And so I know at the end of last year, and she's already thinking about this year, but they think about the summer programming and what opportunities they have for summer reading opportunities. So that is a connection that they continue to do.
Young mothers get their children to the library when they're toddlers and young, and then they go to school, and then they kind of lose a little bit of that. So I would like to see us get them in
Get
there,
back there.
get their library cards, helps bring the whole family in. You know,
Yeah.
It's the same with get them into the art museum, get them going to the art museum.
Yep.
And, go ahead, Rosemary, sorry.
It's also interesting in a timeline. It looked at a certain period, X amount of years ago, like libraries were in the past. And the interest in them dropped, and they thought the people's interest would drop in it. And you're saying that it's mushrooming again, and people are interested in going to the library.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am like a huge advocate of libraries. In my other work, I support my local library too. And so, yeah, absolutely. I appreciate what you're saying, because libraries aren't just a place that you gather books. They're a place where, first of all, they have a lot of wonderful resources where you can have subscriptions on your phone. And so all of that goes through the library. So if you like audiobooks and you don't necessarily want to spend on Audible, you can do that. There's also free subscription for movies online. So there's a lot of wonderful resources that the library does. And oftentimes libraries are also places that adults can go to, that if they're working from home and don't have, a great workspace, they can go work at the library, So, yeah, I encourage both, a visit to the school-based libraries and to the local libraries. So, I support it. I'm glad that we are, that we're really bringing it back to life. Yeah.
One last thing to say about library media centers.
Go ahead.
I just want to thank this committee, because if you remember, over the last 5 years, what we've done in Fitchburg around our libraries, we've brought back full-time librarians in all our elementary schools, including South Street. We did not have full-time librarians before there. They were actually, we had a paraprofessional in those programs running those. We now have certified librarians, which is great. In addition to that, we've also used funds over the last 5 years to actually refurbish our libraries. We have a whole new, brand new library at South Street in Rheingold, Crocker. We are going to be shelving those bookshelves at the new school with brand new books. We've already started updating those last year and this year. And then in addition, McKay has also received several hundreds of dollars of new books too. So I just want to thank you, because over the last 5 years, we've really put a lot of funds into our libraries. Like Rosemary says, as you hear, libraries are something that some cities or towns or schools aren't having in their schools anymore, or in their cities, and we're trying to actually add money to improve that. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mr. Walsh, any comments on the library?
Well, as a retired librarian, I'm pleased to see what's happening. I think for a lot of people, it's an undiscovered resource that can provide so much information. And I've not met the librarians at our schools, but I know that they're there to help people, to help them get started. And one of the things I'll just mention that's available at the public library, and in their temporary location, is a well-done arrangement to provide services to our residents. They have an online service called Mango, which is a language learning item. And it also is an item for people who, for English is not their first language. So it's not only a way for me to learn French or Spanish or Portuguese, it's a way for people who speak those languages to improve their English. And the people at the public library are there to help you get started, teach you how to log on. And my understanding is that Mango is something you can do remotely from your home. You don't have to go into the building to access that program. So I thank you all for doing what you do. It's good to see that libraries are still an important part of our school district. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Mr. Walsh, not only just an excellent school committee person, but he's also a member of the board of directors of Fitchburg Public Library, and he supports us the school system too. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. All right, moving on to our next presentation, Physical Education and Health Department. I think, Glenda, you're also going to provide us with an update.
I am also providing with an update on this one. Yes, Susan Orsini is a very, very busy, individual. She has a lot of after-school events that are happening, especially this week. I think there are a couple of events that she's going to be leading. So I will share with you that our Physical Education and Health Department, one of the major things that they also worked on, similar, you can skip to the next slide, similar to our other departments, is really about alignment, specifically in the physical education and health. One of the things that is really important is that this year, a new set of curriculum standards were released that really aligned the themes of physical education with health. So it was really neat that the state did that. So it really kind of brought in an opportunity for these two groups to come together and really talk about some of the themes that are happening in one set of classrooms, along with how those themes can be incorporated into physical activity. And so really support them, making connections for our students so that they can experience some of the same learning in more than one space. So that has actually happened across the state K-12. So this year, one of the major things that this department has been doing is really learning about the new kind of structure of the standards in both physical education and health, and really think about how they can support each other as they're readjusting some of their curriculum documents. So as you see, one of the goals that they did for this year is really aligning those standard documents and really having some professional learning about supporting one another and integrating both both special ed services and supports and ESL services and supports integrated within the content area. So it's been really exciting for the team. One of the things that she really wanted to talk about was the professional development that has happened this year. Again, all of our teams have really worked on differentiating their professional development, so having targeted PD around their needs. So everybody in our physical education and health department were able to go to the Mafford conference, which happened at the Worcester DCU Center for 2 days. What was really great is that one of those days overlapped with our internal PD day, so it was really exciting that they had the opportunity to go there. And we've heard a lot of wonderful feedback from the PE teachers about some of the wonderful learning that they had this year there, and already made a request to know if they can go back, so that's really exciting. We recently had a professional development that was district-wide, and one of the things that they focused on is creating an adaptive physical education unit. So a couple of teachers came together and they played a unit on volleyball, and they learned how that can look for some of our special education students and how that looks in a modified experience. And actually what's exciting is that, yes, Mr. Thompson and I went to the high school and we saw some adaptive physical education happening with tennis, which was really, really great. Yeah, that learning, came to life, and it was really exciting. And I think the other major thing to share is that for our department, they have really been thinking about how they can make stronger community connections with different organizations that really focus around health and physical education. So one of those connections is MOC, that they have been partnering with and thinking about how they can integrate and invite more into classrooms. So a lot of the same kind of goals across the line for students. It's really about having a positive attitude towards physical activity and a healthy lifestyle, learning more essential motor skills and understanding really important health concepts in association with, their personal life and needs. And then really thinking about developing responsible social behaviors. And then the other real important goal is supporting our students in building self-confidence and promoting those healthy habits. So it also aligns really well with some of our social emotional goals that we have for our students. For teachers, really their focus and goal this year has also been to align to the standards and the same thing, thinking about how you can develop physical literacy while also having a healthy lifestyle and really connecting those two departments together. And then really leaning into some of our district-wide goals of creating a safe and supportive learning environment and what that looks like in this department and for this department, which is really important. And then the other goal is really communicating with families, because there's a lot of wonderful events and activities that happen within our community, and finding ways of engaging our families. So the goals that they have and will continue to have for families is supporting their child's physical and mental well-being, encouraging their child to engage in lifelong fitness and wellness, and then promoting healthy habits, which seems to be across all of the goals. I think, just a positive highlight. We already mentioned the professional development. Overall, that was one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we got from PE and Health, that they really appreciated being able to have PD that was really focused on their individual needs, and really excited to begin a partnership with MOC. I think a major next step is to continue to really learn and develop those standards, since they were just released this year. And that is it for me. Any questions on PE and Health? Okay, excellent. Then I'm going to have us end with Kelly Morrison, if you can come up to talk about the art department.
This might be a little high. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Morrison. I'm the art teacher at Crocker and the visual digital art lead for the district. If you can, yes, I'm going to overview with some of the things that we did this year. This was a great year, full of highlights, full of great steps that we've made that we haven't had before. So the first one that I'll talk about is the Art of Education University. So this is major. We didn't really have a curriculum for the art teachers. This curriculum is nationwide. There's many, many, many states, districts that use it, and we were all excited to get it. We really, really wanted it. The Art of Ed is a web-based curriculum. There's two parts that we have had the ability to use. The first part being the Flex curriculum, which is a K-12 visual arts curriculum that teachers can go on, and it's standards-based. It's standards-based nationally with each of the states, so we're easily able to get our Massachusetts standards covered and met. But it's not just lessons, it's also differentiating its vocabulary. And it causes, it gives us all a chance to have common knowledge, common vocabulary, throughout, from the high school teachers right down to South Street early childhood. We all have the same curriculum that we can work together and collaborate more with. So it's really exciting that we're able to do that. The next part of it, oh, nope, go back.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So there was two parts, the Flex curriculum, but also, and Glenda has talked a lot about professional development. The pro learning part of the Art of Ed is amazing. It It's professional development that we personally can go in and watch videos, read up on things. Personally, for me, I took a whole series of professional development on how to be a lead teacher. So that was great. And then I also wanted to do a lot of weaving with the kids. So I watched a whole series of weaving videos that will be highlighted at the art show that I will be talking about. So that in itself, having this, I am so thankful. We're all so thankful to have it. We've been asking for this for quite a while, and to have it and to use it. I check in with the teachers occasionally, and they're saying they love the videos that it offers. They love the resources. You know, sometimes as an art teacher, your head is so big, you want to get all the spots filled, but you just can't. So this gives you, if you have a special needs student, how you help them in one way. If you have an ESL child, how to help them in another way. So it really ties everything together. Well, now you can go.
Now I can go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, I made that small. Our professional development this year was phenomenal. I'll start with, in November, we all met together, all the art teachers, and we really focused on discourse. We did some activities on that to really hone in on speaking with kids about art and getting their creative ideas flowing. One of our colleagues, Jessica Clark from South Street Early Childhood Learning Center, she had in years past taught at B.F. Brown in the arts school. She taught us all about printmaking, and we actually did printmaking with her, which I had never done before, so it was a lot of fun, and it just gave us another outlet. And learning from our colleagues is always so much, so great to do. Now, the highlight was March 20th when we went to the Fitchburg Arts Museum as a team. So I was so excited about this event that I couldn't even tell the teachers about it because the relationship we have, the partnership we have with Fitchburg Art Museum is such a gem and such an important collaboration with the art teachers. Whenever we go there, you just get a sense of and rejuvenation to teach. So Susan, the director of education, and I were talking one day, and we were thinking, she had mentioned Joanne Nichols, a professor from Fitchburg State College. She is a professor that teaches the education students in their last semesters to integrate art into the curriculum. So we worked with the college students that day with Joanne Nichols, and also we had the artist who was featured at the Fitchburg Art Museum, Tara Celios, come. She has the exhibit Ask Now the Beast, which you should all see. Tara came and worked with us, creating art in her way. So we were able to focus in on process, which with kids in art, we're all of us from kindergarten all the way up to the high school, we're always trying to slow the kids down to get their process more focused. So having Tara talk to us about how she creates art was phenomenal. We also went around and we really looked in to all the different Stephen Dorado exhibit, who is another local artist from Worcester who does photography. We really looked at his art and really focusing in and getting, not just looking at art, but looking deeper into it. So taking that with the college students and ourselves, and the staff at the Art Museum was very helpful. Now you can go on. Thank you. So next Thursday, like this Thursday, I shouldn't say next Thursday, this Thursday, we're having the first annual, we haven't had an art show in a while, the Heart of the Berg Art Show over at the Armory, the Senior Center. It's going to be focused on art from the kindergartners up to the high schoolers. So we're hoping that you all can join us and come. And I think
That's it.
that's it. Thank you. Any
When's that
questions?
show again? What's the date and time?
May 22nd, this Thursday,
And the time?
5 to 7.
Any questions for Kelly regarding the art department?
No, just want to thank, going back, Peter Timms and Don Cummings, principal at B.F. Brown. We started an art class right in the art museum. We had the little building on the right-hand side.
We meet there.
Huh?
We meet there.
You meet there.
Yeah.
That was a classroom for B.F. Brown. That's where the art was taught. And it was Don Cummings, and Peter Timms was very good with working with the school system. And we got the art community going there. So
Thank you.
it was about 45 years ago. So.
Great.
Any other questions for our team?
Yes, Jim.
I just want to comment too. I think it was on one of the slides, the little art exhibit that Kelly organized from, I think, all levels of our schools that was on display at the Fitchburg Art Museum. And I spoke with Kelly that evening when it opened, and how difficult it was for her, because of the limited space, to select different types of art at the different grade levels. And what I was impressed with the work of the art, but I also was touched by the parents who were there with their student, and to see the art on the wall with their name and their grade and the name of the project. And I think that's a great way to encourage students to continue something that they love to do. So I want to thank Kelly and everybody involved with that exhibit. Thank you for doing what you did.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Kelly.
you. And thank you so much to the team. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you this year. I've had a lot of fun. Art is like my second love and passion, so I've really appreciated partnering with the team. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here tonight.
Appreciate it. Great job.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Excellent job. We appreciate it. Thanks for all that you do for our students.
Amen.
All right.
Budget, final reading.
Now the fun stuff.
Final, yes.
This is when the room.
This is where the room can clear out now, right? So thank you, everyone. As you know, this evening is our final reading of the FY26 budget. This evening, I am going to begin by reviewing the process of how we went through and the different factors that contributed to our budget this year. In addition, I will discuss additional positions we will be adding next school year because of increase in students and students' needs. I'll talk a little bit about reductions that we need to make in order to meet our net school spending number. And then finally, Mr. Roach will finish us off by reviewing the budget book with us this evening, and then we'll open it up for any questions anyone has, and then we have our final vote this evening. Okay? Any questions regarding the budget?
Just one thing on procedure there. You said at the end you'll open up for any questions, but might we not be able to question something as we go along? Because,
Absolutely, Rosemary, as always.
you know what I'm saying? If you wait till the end.
But we'll open it up for questions at the end, too, one last
Yeah,
time,
right,
just to make
right.
sure anyone
Thank you.
has anything they need to clarify or ask. All right, great. So our budget, our net school spending number, $110,532,275,000. So, as you all know, in April, we received our indirect number from the city, which was $2.9 million more than the year before. Because of that, we had to make some adjustments in how we were going to be funding our school district next year. So immediately, Mr. Roach and I and other central office staff and also building level administrators, we actually had to sit and work on how we were going to make up the difference of $2.9 million. So immediately we went through all our 279 lines, our line items, our budget line items, to look at making those reductions. So we did that. I think, until last week, correct, Mr. Roach?
Yeah, I mean, up until
Up until last week.
printing. Yep.
So it's been very busy. And we're able to actually say we ended up where we needed to be this year, and we'll share that in a second. But we did have to make some decisions. In addition to reducing some of our line items, we also had to reduce 5.5 open budgeted positions this year, in addition to 2 additional existing positions, which I'll talk about in a second. We had to eliminate 4 of the proposed new positions that we wanted to add. We also had to go through all our non-personnel line items, those 279 lines, and we had to reduce that by another reduce our non-personnel line item numbers by 3.3% for next year. So that was all the scrubbing that we had to do. As you know, all our personnel contracts, the 8 contracts that we have been working on since last year, we are almost done. We have one last one to finish, which is Unit B, and we have a tentative agreement. We're waiting to get that contract ratified. They're going to be voting this week, and I'll have that hopefully to you by next school committee meeting to review and sign. But because of that, our personnel line items, because of all the 8 contracts that we negotiated, went up 8.02% for next year. Okay, those are all the increases in those personnel line item, the personnel contracts that we had. And those include our Unit A, our teachers, our paraprofessionals, our clerical, custodians, cafeteria managers, cafeteria workers, our nurses, and then last, our Unit B.
John,
Okay.
that 8.02% is through 27, right?
Nope,
No.
that's just for this next school year, FY26.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, contracts are settled through 27.
Yes, we are good to 27, that's correct. Yep. So next year will be year 2 of the contracts. In addition to that, just remember, over the last 5 years, we've added several positions to the school district, okay? Back in 21-22, we added 23 additional positions. In 22-23, we added 51. In 23 and 24, we added 51.4 new positions. Last year, as you can remember, we actually had to make some reductions or some changes in how we're using our staff, specifically our interventionists. And because of that, we didn't add any positions last year, because last year was also another tight budget year. And this year we are, in 25-26, for next school year, we are asking for an additional 9 positions, which I'll go over in a second. And just so you know, the city's overall budget is $181,515,682. That Fitchburg Public Schools, out of the city's budget, that makes up about 65.1%, okay? So as you can see, we are the largest contributor to the city's budget, okay? Addition to that, we added all open positions to the personnel line items, so we had to make sure that we had those line items accurate, so all those positions were in there. And one thing that you are hearing out there is something called circuit breaker. That's the reimbursement we get from the state from our special education services. Right now, Mr. Roach, we get about, what, 75% of that reimbursed?
Yep, of the increase above the threshold that they provide
to us.
Yep.
Next year, they're hoping to make that 100% reimbursement,
Yes.
which is very significant. And Mr. Roach, you calculated some of those figures, and what could that look like for Fitchburg if it was at that 100% reimbursement?
This would be really significant for Fitchburg Public Schools, because it would also reimburse at 100% the out-of-district transportation costs. Right now, looking at the current circuit breaker, it'd be $2 to $2.5 million more.
Right, so that's
it'd be significant.
That's out there right now as a discussion. We're really hoping to the state will agree to that, and we'll hear hopefully more information soon about that reimbursement.
Just to clarify, this city budget, the $181 million, et cetera, is 61% of the Fitchburg school system budget or the city's budget?
The city's budget.
City budget,
City's budget.
65%,
Yeah.
city
That's-
budget.
Yes.
Does that surpass what they're required to do?
Nope.
It's exactly what
It's
they're
exactly
required?
the city meets net school spending, which they're required to do.
Right.
Yep.
And that 65% has been pretty consistent from year to year, that the Fitchburg Public Schools budget of $110 million is typically about 65% of the overall city budget, which happens to be proposed at $181 million this year. The good news for us is $86 million comes from the state. So a significant, 86 of the 110 comes from the state of Massachusetts. So it really is.
86 of the 110 comes from.
Yeah.
Which we have a slide, we'll show that in a second.
And the reason that there's 5 years shown there is because those are the 5 years of the Student Opportunity Act, which provided more state funding to cities with what would be considered to be a high low-income percentage. And Fitchburg is one of those cities.
Lindsay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I just had a question of clarification. The packet that we were provided of the slides has different numbers for the budget, and I just wanted to know which one is.
I think as of printing, it was 182, correct? City
Yeah,
one?
yep.
Yeah, it went down in the email we got very late
Okay.
on Friday from the city auditor
So-
by
so this is-
500,000
this is
or
the
so.
accurate number. Okay.
That's the accurate one from
Hot off the
very
press.
late.
Thank you.
Yeah, like literally hot off the presses.
Thank you for catching that. The last two items that have influenced our budget this year, remember when we negotiated our contracts, specifically the teacher and the paraprofessional contract, there is language in there now that provides teachers with additional funds for substituting, because we do have a substitute shortage in Massachusetts, including in Fitchburg. So that allows our our teachers and our paraprofessionals to get paid for taking on additional responsibilities of coverage during the day. And lastly, we have our added Chromebook and library books. Like I said, the Crocker School will be opening soon, and we've been also putting those funds in our budget to making sure we're increasing, replacing and increasing the books at the new Crocker Library, in addition to continuously updating our Chromebooks, our end-of-life Chromebooks. Okay.
Regarding Chromebooks, what do you mean updating them?
So every year, I think it's every 5 or 6 years, correct, Mr.
Yeah.
Roach? Chromebooks run out of life, like their shelf life is over. So we actually have to each year buy new Chromebooks and repurpose the old ones, and then put the new ones in place.
And then the new ones, are they different from the ones are?
They're updated,
Yeah.
the latest technology.
They're the latest.
Yep.
Even maybe the size of them might change?
Size, usually they typically Chromebook-wise, they stay the same.
But the technology
But the
must be-
technology, yes, yep, increases and changes.
So that a student might get a new one or an old one?
No, they circulate the old ones down to first, second, third, lower grades. So you're teaching them on the old books, and
Yeah.
the high school kids are getting the new books.
We try to cycle at 6th grade and 9th grade. Because of the budget challenges this year, only able to do one grade level. Ideally, we would do two. We'll get through the year, and then potentially, if school choice funds return to the Fitchburg Public Schools, we'll do the second. Because it's about $135,000 to do one Chromebook adoption for a grade level. Our grade levels average about 400 to 450 students, depending upon, there's a little variation.
And again, this is because we are a one-to-one district. You, as a school committee, see the value of technology, and you made us a one-to-one district probably, 5 years ago, Mr. Roach, I think it was?
Yeah.
Or even earlier
It was
than that,
before the
possibly.
pandemic,
Before the
fortunately.
pandemic, yeah.
Right there.
So this is something that we will continue to do, because our kids deserve the latest and greatest technology. So the next piece is the additional positions. Again, you remember I did come with, I think it was originally 13 positions, but we had to reduce that. And again, all these positions are because of increase in class sizes or student populations. okay? So for example, at Crocker Elementary School, we'll be adding an additional ESL teacher to help the additional population of ESL students at Crocker. At South Street Early Learning Center, because of increased numbers in kindergarten, we need another kindergarten teacher, in addition to another ESL teacher, and we need to move forward with making the art teacher full-time. Our special education costs, these are the most significant costs. This is because our current students who are diagnosed with autism at the kindergarten level, there's an additional 36 students moving from the early childhood center to our elementary levels. So because of that, additional students with that diagnosis, we need additional 2 pathways teachers. Those are the teachers that directly service our students on the autism spectrum. So we need to add 2 classroom, one at McKay and one at Crocker. In addition to that, we need to add additional paraprofessional staff. And then we also need to hire an out-of-district education team leader to manage our additional out-of-district caseload, which is over 170 at this point of students. So that's a total of 9 new positions, 7 teachers supports, and 2 paraprofessionals, an estimated amount of $574,200.
These are in that $181 million budget?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yep. We could not cut from here. Yep. This is because of increased student needs, so these are the ones we must have for next year. And then, like I said, because of additional costs, that $2.9 million, we needed to make some reductions. In order to do that, we needed to make some very serious decisions on where we had to make some shifts in positions. We went through and cut almost $2.1 million from our lines. We couldn't cut any more, so we had to go and look at positions. So that being said, what did we do? We needed to shift the cost of an indirect, which was an indirect cost for one of our nurses. We moved the cost to the indirect side, which is the city side. Our security monitors, we needed to move one from Fitchburg High School to Goodrich, and we also needed to eliminate one at Longsjo Middle School. We needed to look at eliminating one assistant principal. And currently, McKay Elementary School has 2 assistant principals. We'll be eliminating one assistant principal at McKay. In addition, we had a .5 science position on the books at Fitchburg High School that we have not been able to staff. And according to Dr. Brager, we're able to eliminate that position. We have enough teachers up there to service students. An additional position that we'll be eliminating is a special education position at Longsjo Middle School. Based on the current needs scheduled for Longsjo next year, based on the conversations we've had with the administrators, we're able to eliminate one special education position. Our 6th grade team at Longsjo Middle School currently has an additional team. We're going to be eliminating that team next year, which will be an elimination of 2 additional positions at the 6th grade. So 6th grade at Longsjo will have 2 teams, and also Memorial will have 2 teams, so they'll be equal next year. We have to eliminate an enrollment clerk. That position will be eliminated. In addition, we need to eliminate our communications coordinator. We are going to be eliminating the ask for another custodian for the new Crocker Elementary School and shifting one of our floats over there to support the new school. I talked a little bit about the security monitor nurse already. Actually, sorry, the security monitor I talked about, the nurse is actually eliminated. Currently, we actually asked for an additional 3rd nurse next year. At Crocker, we'll be eliminating that and keeping it to 2 nurses. We have a float nurse in the district that also can support that as needed. And then lastly, we eliminated the additional BCBA behavioral support that was asked for by Crocker Elementary School. This is not program support, this is non-program support, so the special education programs at Crocker will still have the support that they need in order to service students. So unfortunately, again, like I said, these are the positions or reductions we needed to make in order to make up the difference for next year, which is a total of $899,890.
Congratulations on your work. It's a lot of hard work.
Well, and I'm going to thank Mr. Roach, because Mr. Roach and Melissa Diantini, she is our accountant, they have been deeply involved in this day to day. Again, I come in when I need to support them, but they've been doing the majority of the work around this. And I just want to say thank you, Mr. Roach. And Melissa, I know you're out there listening right now. Thank you so much. This has been a pretty large task this year, so thank you.
But you can tell the care and concern. You're not flippant about it. You're not put offish about it. You're involved in it, and it's uplifting to hear.
Well, Rosemary, unfortunately, some of these reductions we had to make our people that we work very closely with. And it's hard when these positions are tied to people's names, and we respect everyone that we work with. So, unfortunately, we had to make some tough decisions.
Yes.
Maybe at this time, I can ask Mr. Roach. We built the new Crocker Elementary School. We started that, 4 or 5 years ago? Getting started.
Process.
Yeah, the process. We have money, called school choice money, that is not city money, it is school department money that comes in to support all of our programs. That has been frozen because we as a school committee, that we made a commitment that we would hold that money in reserve in case we needed it for the Crocker Elementary School. If we do not need it for the Crocker Elementary School, that money should be unfrozen when all of the work is done, and then that money would become available to us again.
Hopefully as early as this fall. We're still trying to figure out when we can tap into those funds. So we haven't got direction on when we can yet, but that's something we'll be discussing moving forward.
Sure.
Yeah. So that would free up money, because what you've seen up there tonight represents the $181 million that's all accounted for. That money that we get for school choice is just frozen, and we can't do anything with it yet. So
what's the amount?
So currently, it was $5 million, correct, previously that we had. I think we're close to
three.
Little underneath 3, I think.
Yep. And then the
$3 million
school choice assessment from the state will supplement that, and that's about $600,000, I believe.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, the best part about that is we can use it towards a capital project, and we're not limited by the finance regulation in Massachusetts is we cannot spend more than $150,000 out of the school budget on any one capital improvement project. We have to ask the city or find a grant or like the Mass School Building Authority grants or things like that. And we have applied for a $3.5 million grant to upgrade Rheingold. We've gotten a number of these, new boilers, new windows, doors at Longjo, a new school building at Crocker Elementary School, boilers at South Street, et cetera. But we have many projects that we need to do. We have to supplement Chromebooks. Those are $135,000 as noted. So that would be, that will allow us to have a little bit more flexibility.
that allows us, when somebody comes to us and says, we need somebody, we want to go on a trip, we need more field trip money, support for buses and so forth, Chromebooks, libraries, projects that come up that they can come to us, and we have that little pool of money that is school department money that we can do things with. It's the school choice money is for the students. We committed to help back when we were building Crocker Elementary School. But since it's not, hopefully, they're not going to have to touch any of that, and we will have that money back again. So.
And we'll keep you updated on that, okay?
For sure.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Roach. Mr. Roach is going to continue with the budget.
Yep, so this constitutes really the school's direct spending budget. And what that means, it's the amount that we would manage. The city manages other costs, indirect costs. That'd be health insurance, that'd be the charter school assessments, that'd be retirement contribution costs. We don't manage that. That's done on the city side. When you add those totals up, you get to $110,532,275. We manage the $90,804,325. That is constituted by all the different salaries. So the personnel groups that we've shown you in different line item reports. This is the 5th presentation we've made. I'm sure you're ready for it to be over. $64 million is the personnel costs. And that is everything. That's the steps, that's their column. So I'm a master's 60 teacher in step 10. Next year, that'll be a new step for us. Then they get a certain amount, and that's for every group. And then we have additional costs, which would be the non-personnel costs. That's materials, that's supplies. That does include transportation. However, if we remove the transportation from that, because that does not count towards net school spending by state statute, we're actually down to an $81,732,275 budget, and that is a budget that will meet the law of the state says, based on your number of students that you have enrolled, based on the demographics of your community, here is the amount that you must spend. You can spend hundreds of millions more if you want, or if you have it, but you have to spend $110,532,275 by law. That's meeting net school spending, and we are at net school spending right now, so that's a good thing. If we move on, yeah, go ahead, Lindsay.
Just a quick question. You have in here on the second, in the middle section, second line, includes all non-personnel costs as well as transportation costs. But then you also have transportation down below. What's the difference in the transportation?
So it subtracts that. So transportation costs, we manage those costs. So that's the yellow buses, that's the general education buses. We have 30 buses that we contract. We have in-district special education, about 450 students have a van transportation. Sometimes we're able to put, have 4 or 5 or 6 students on one van. And they would bring them from their homes to the school in Fitchburg. And then we have out-of-district transportation for the 170-ish students that attend a school outside of the Fitchburg Public Schools, but required per their individual education plan. So those, and then we also have McKinney-Vento transportation as well for homeless students who are under the care potentially of the Department of Children and Families. They might have a state placement somewhere in a shelter, but because their home origin community is Fitchburg, we're going to send a van to them in Worcester and bring them to school. So those are really the 4 tiers of the transportation that we have, and it adds up to $9 million. The 64 and the 26 add to the 90,804. We take out the 9 million. For transportation because it doesn't count towards net school spending technically by law. So really it's an $81 million budget that we're working with, and then transportation, if that makes sense.
I think so.
Yeah, it is a little tricky.
Confusing sometimes.
It's just because transportation isn't included in that net school spending amount.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Roach.
Thank you.
And then,
Budget book.
I'm sorry. And then you have in your packets, and this will be posted, assuming a vote tonight, the actual budget book. It's 145 slides. It's broken into various sections. The biggest section really is the highlight from the various district departments, including some of which we saw tonight, but also the schools. If we go to the next slides, and the superintendent's letter there that provides sort of our values, our statement of, we have these funds, but what are they for? What is our focus for helping kids meet their goals and become the best version of themselves over the period of time that they're in schools? And I think Superintendent Thompson does a great job of keeping that at the forefront, and that letter highlights that, as well as the challenges that we need to face. What you have then is, this is just one example of a school. So Fitchburg High's highlights for the year, they include each staff, each school, each department area submits material about things that really are exciting that are going on within either their school site or their particular content area or focus. I mean, you can see some of that with Fitchburg High School here and in the next slide, I believe. Yep, and then we get into, with some of the schools, a little bit of a demographic slice by school. So that's going to show you what's referred to by the state of Massachusetts as the student demographics. So that'd be, the number of students whose first language is not English, how many are currently enrolled in one level of ESL, and there are 5, how many are low income, et cetera, how many students per grade level, and what the actual demographics are by race and ethnicity. So you can see that there, and then what the student-to-teacher ratio is. So every school has that, and then it also will have the staffing ratio, which is the next slide. So the number of staff at school, at each school site. And then if we continue on, capital plan update. So some of the things that are happening at the school sites and the progress around that, as well as the cost and potentially the funding source. And then I believe, yep, so then at the very back of the budget book are 12 pages of the line items. And what you see is the original appropriation, the revised FY25 budget, so we might have had to make some shifts over the course of the year, and then what the FY26 budget is, and then that shows you the differential. And I think what you can see is you will notice, not so much in the school sites, we really tried to keep the school sites from major reductions, but in some of the other sites like school building maintenance, the central office lines, special ed, some of those sites did see some pretty significant reductions. And that gets us to where we are at this point. So you have that in there, and again, we will post that for the community to the Fitchburg Public Schools main page of the initial website, so that all the information is there as well.
Okay.
And then questions and answers?
Questions? Any questions on this year's budget? Or next year's budget, FY26?
Yeah.
Thank you for working
July
so
1.
diligently.
Thank you for your hard
July
work.
1. So this evening, there'll be a final vote to adopt the budget. Okay? All right. Sorry, Jim, I didn't see you there.
That's okay. That's all right. First of all, again, I want to thank everybody involved to present this budget, not only to us to vote on, but for the community to see what it costs to run a school district. And I know this year there were some very tough decisions that had to be made in order for us to balance the budget. We can't have an unbalanced budget. But what I'd like to have put on the record is the earlier discussion about the school choice monies that we pledged to the Crocker School construction project, that whatever is left over will go back to the school district, not to the city budget. And I'd like to say that I think our top number one priority with some of that money is to reinstate and fund the communications coordinator position. I think that's a key position that's done a lot of good things for our district, for our schools, for our kids. And I think if we're getting approximately $3 million back, refunding the $74,000 for that position is a very profitable investment for us and for our school district. Thank you.
Make a comment. Mr. Roach, I don't think we've ever lost the school choice money. We still have it.
No, it's still, it's still there.
Jim, we still have it.
Yeah.
We just froze it.
No, I understand that, Pete. And I know that it's our money, but it can't be released until the project is done.
Right.
We don't have to pay any more bills for the project. what I'm saying is when that money is released.
Yeah, right, when it's unfrozen.
Unfrozen, I think the number one priority would be to refund the communications coordinator position.
I think, I agree with you 100%, that very important position. I know the mayor, when she was here last budget meeting, supported that also. I don't know if, Jim, do you want to put that in a motion?
Jim, you're on mute.
Yeah, Jim?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I hear you.
My fingers are too clunky to hit the unmute button. I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, it's on the record of what I said, and I don't know if you think it would be better to do that. I'd be happy to make a motion to say that. I don't know what the rest of the school committee feels.
Discussion? Rosemary?
That was in the back of my mind simply because you, other committee members spoke so highly of the necessity of the work and the accomplishment of the work. So that would, but I think it's a bit too early. I'd feel uncomfortable right now.
We know the committee's feelings. We went back to see if we could find the additional funds anywhere else, and we couldn't. But we know that if something does change, that will be one of the first positions we look at bringing back. So we are aware of how the committee feels, and we will make sure if anything does change.
I agree with you. I can live with that. Okay. Jim?
I agree also.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. My last two items for this evening is I have one donation and one grant to submit. The first donation is from Gail Hoyt. She donated winter knitted hats in addition to gloves to South Street Early Learning Center for students in the estimated value of $250. So thank you for that. And then the last is the grant that we'd like to submit. It is the ASOST grant from United Way, up to $20,000. If we are awarded these funds, they'll be used to support youth and summer programs throughout the district in grades pre-K to 6, in addition to 7 through 12. So those are that's a grant that we would like to submit.
Okay. If there are no objections, I'd like to take each one of these three rather than bundling so that we can vote on the budget separately. If we bundled, there'd be 2 votes. This could be 3 votes. So. If no objections, action items, I'd like to approve the superintendent's recommendation to approve the fiscal year 2026 budget, action item 25513.
Second.
Second.
Jim?
Okay. Roll call? Yeah.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes?
Dr. Knight?
Yes.
Mrs. England?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously on the budget. Second one is 25514. Approve the donation of hand-knitted winter hats in support of students in need during the cold winter months. Gail Hoyt.
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Alexander?
Sorry, I can't type fast enough tonight. I'm sorry, Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes?
Dr. Knight?
Yes.
Mrs. England?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. On 25515, approve the superintendent's recommendation to submit the following grant titled ASOST, after school, out of school time, up to $20,000. We have a motion.
Move to approve 25-515 for the,
Second.
All in, oh,
thank you.
Sorry, my apologies.
yeah. Jim, sorry you're far away here tonight.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Knight?
Yes.
Mrs. England?
Yes.
That's unanimous. Any other business tonight?
No, sir.
Seeing none, executive session not at this time. Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Do roll call.
I made the first, I guess.
Mr. Stevens, did you make the motion?
I made the motion, I
Okay,
guess.
thank you.
I'll have to check on that with the Roberts.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Knight?
Yes.
Mrs. England?
Yes.
Let's go home. Motion to adjourn.
Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.